Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The act of damaging something or someone. Any physical damage to the body caused by violence or accident or fracture, etc. The occurrence of a change for the worse. Cause or do harm to. These pills won't harm your system. The act of damaging something or someone. Any harm or injury resulting from a violation of a legal right. The occurrence of a change for the worse. The amount of money needed to purchase something. How much is the damage? Loss of military equipment. Inflict damage upon. The snow damaged the roof. Suffer or be susceptible to damage. These fine china cups damage easily. The act of damaging something or someone. Feel physical pain. Were you hurting after the accident? Cause emotional anguish or make miserable. A damage or loss. Feelings of mental or physical pain. Any physical damage to the body caused by violence or accident or fracture, etc. Feel pain or be in pain. Hurt the feelings of. She hurt me when she did not include me among her guests. Psychological suffering. Damaged. Used of inanimate objects or their value. Suffering from physical injury, especially that suffered in battle. Ambulances for the hurt men and women. Be the source of pain. Cause damage or affect negatively. Our business was hurt by the new competition. Give trouble or pain to. This exercise will hurt your back. The act of damaging something or someone. A casualty to military personnel resulting from combat. Any physical damage to the body caused by violence or accident or fracture, etc. An accident that results in physical damage or hurt. An act that causes someone or something to receive physical damage. Wrongdoing that violates another's rights and is unjustly inflicted. Any physical damage to the body caused by violence or accident or fracture, etc. An emotional wound or shock, often having long-lasting effects. A symptom of reduced quality or strength. The condition of being unable to perform as a consequence of physical or mental unfitness. Hearing impairment. The act of making something futile and useless, as by routine. The occurrence of a change for the worse. Damage that results in a reduction of strength or quality. The act of changing the unity or wholeness of something. A state in which you are unable to function normally and without pain. A state in which you are unable to function normally and without pain. A state in which you are unable to function normally and without pain. The act of making something different, as e.g. the size of a garment. An event that occurs when something passes from one state or phase to another. The act of revising or altering, involving reconsideration and modification. The act of making something different, as e.g. the size of a garment. An event that occurs when something passes from one state or phase to another. The neighborhood had undergone few modifications since his last visit years ago. The grammatical relation that exists when a word qualifies the meaning of the phrase. Slightly modified copy. Not an exact copy. A modification of last year's model. Lay aside, abandon, or leave for another. The car changed lanes. Cause to change. Make different. Cause a transformation. The discussion has changed my thinking about the issue. Exchange or replace with another, usually of the same kind or category. He changed his name. An event that occurs when something passes from one state or phase to another. The change was intended to increase sales. Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Her mood changes in accordance with the weather. Give to, and receive from, one another. Would you change places with me? Become deeper in tone. His voice began to change when he was 12 years old. Change from one vehicle or transportation line to another. She changed in Chicago on her way to the East Coast. A difference that is usually pleasant. It is a refreshing change to meet a woman mechanic. A different or fresh set of clothes. She brought a change in her overnight bag. A relational difference between states, especially between states before and after some event. He attributed the change to their marriage. A thing that is different. He inspected several changes before selecting one. Change clothes. Put on different clothes. Coins of small denomination regarded collectively. He had a pocketful of change. Money received in return for its equivalent in a larger denomination or a different currency. He got change for a 20 and used it to pay the taxi driver. Remove or replace the coverings of. Father had to learn how to change the baby. The action of changing something. The change of government had no impact on the economy. The balance of money received when the amount you tender is greater than the amount due. I paid with a 20 and pocketed the change. The result of alteration or modification. There were marked changes in the lining of the lungs. Undergo a change. Become different in essence, losing one's or its original nature. She changed completely as she grew older. Hurt the feelings of. Cause injuries or bodily harm to. Cause damage or affect negatively. A casualty to military personnel resulting from combat. An injury to living tissue, especially an injury involving a cut or break in the skin. Hurt the feelings of. The act of inflicting a wound. Cause injuries or bodily harm to. A figurative injury, to your feelings or pride. He feared that mentioning it might reopen the wound. Put in a coil. Pain that feels hot as if it were on fire. Undergo combustion. Maple wood burns well. Use up energy. Burn off calories through vigorous exercise. Get a sunburn by overexposure to the sun. Cause to undergo combustion. Burn garbage. Shine intensely, as if with heat. The candles were burning. A browning of the skin resulting from exposure to the rays of the sun. Cause to burn or combust. The sun burned off the fog. Cause a sharp or stinging pain or discomfort. The sun burned his face. Burn, sear, or freeze tissue, using a hot iron or electric current or a caustic agent. A place or area that has been burned, especially on a person's body. Create by duplicating data. Burn a CD. Destroy by fire. They burned the house and his diaries. An injury caused by exposure to heat or chemicals or radiation. Damage by burning with heat, fire, or radiation. The iron burnt a hole in my dress. Damage inflicted by fire. Execute by tying to a stake and setting alight. Witches were burned in Salem. Feel hot or painful. My eyes are burning. Feel strong emotion, especially anger or passion. She was burning with anger. Spend significant amounts of money. He has money to burn. The act of damaging the appearance or surface of something. The defacement of an Italian mosaic during the Turkish invasion. An act that despoils the innocence or beauty of something. The act of depriving a woman of her virginity, especially by rupturing the hymen through sexual intercourse. An appearance that has been spoiled or is misshapen. Suffering from facial disfiguration. The act of damaging the appearance or surface of something. An appearance that has been spoiled or is misshapen. There were distinguishing disfigurements on the suspect's back. The act of damaging the appearance or surface of something. He objected to the dam's massive disfigurement of the landscape. Causing physical or especially psychological injury. Wounding and false charges of disloyalty. The act of inflicting a wound. The act of damaging the appearance or surface of something. An injury that causes disfigurement or that deprives you of a limb or other important body part. Injury caused the explosion of a bomb, especially in enclosed spaces. The flow of blood from a ruptured blood vessel. Injury incurred when the human body hits or is hit by a large outside object, as a car. Injury to the brain that impairs its functions, especially permanently, can be caused by trauma to the head, infection, hemorrhage, inadequate oxygen, genetic abnormality, etc. Tennis. A score consisting of winning a game when your opponent was serving. He was up 2 breaks in the second set. Breaking of hard tissue such as bone. The break seems to have been caused by a fall. Enter someone's virtual or real property in an unauthorized manner, usually with the intent to steal or commit a violent act. Be released or become known of news. Fail to agree with. Be in violation of, as of rules or patterns. An act of delaying or interrupting the continuity. It was presented without commercial breaks. Lessen in force or effect. Break a fall. An escape from jail. The breakout was carefully planned. Interrupt a continued activity. Force out or release suddenly and often violently something pent up. Break into tears. Any frame in which a bowler fails to make a strike or spare. The break in the 8th frame cost him the match. Go to pieces. Ruin completely. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Break a law. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. Do a break dance. Kids were break dancing at the street corner. Prevent completion. Break off the negotiations. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Make known to the public information that was previously known only to a few people or that was meant to be kept a secret. Terminate. Break a lucky streak. Surpass in excellence. Break a record. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The act of breaking something. The breakage was unavoidable. Happen. Break down, literally or metaphorically. A pause from doing something, as work. We took a 10-minute break. Stop operating or functioning. Fracture a bone of. Reduce to bankruptcy. My daughter's fancy wedding is going to break me. Assign to a lower position. Reduce in rank. Geology. A crack in the Earth's crust resulting from the displacement of one side with respect to the other. Break a piece from a whole. Break a branch from a tree. Make submissive, obedient, or useful. The horse was tough to break. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. Move away or escape suddenly. Nobody can break out. This prison is high security. A personal or social separation, as between opposing factions. They hoped to avoid a break in relations. Some abrupt occurrence that interrupts an ongoing activity. There was a break in the action when a player was hurt. Destroy the completeness of a set of related items. The book dealer would not break the set. Cease an action temporarily. Let's break for lunch. An unexpected piece of good luck. He finally got his big break. An abrupt change in the tone or register of the voice, as at puberty or due to emotion. Then there was a break in her voice. A sudden dash. He made a break for the open door. Be broken in. If the new teacher won't break, we'll add some stress. Become punctured or penetrated. Cause the failure or ruin of. This play will either make or break the playwright. Cause to give up a habit. Change direction suddenly. Change suddenly from one tone quality or register to another. Come forth or begin from a state of latency. Come into being. Come to an end. Crack. Of the male voice in puberty. His voice is breaking, he should no longer sing in the choir. Curl over and fall apart in surf or foam, of waves. Destroy the integrity of, usually by force, cause to separate into pieces or fragments. Diminish or discontinue abruptly. Emerge from the surface of a body of water. Exchange for smaller units of money. I had to break a $100 bill just to buy the candy. Fall sharply. Find a flaw in. Break an alibi. Find the solution or key to. Break the code. Give up. Break cigarette smoking. Happen or take place. Things have been breaking pretty well for us in the past few months. Interrupt the flow of current in. Break a circuit. Invalidate by judicial action. Make a rupture in the ranks of the enemy or one's own by quitting or fleeing. Make the opening shot that scatters the balls. Pierce or penetrate. Render inoperable or ineffective. Scatter or part. Separate from a clinch, in boxing. The occurrence of breaking. The break in the dam threatened the valley. The opening shot that scatters the balls in billiards or pool. Undergo breaking. Vary or interrupt a uniformity or continuity. Weaken or destroy in spirit or body. Injure the underlying soft tissue or bone of. I bruised my knee. Hurt the feelings of. This remark really bruised my ego. An injury that doesn't break the skin but results in some discoloration. Break up into small pieces for food preparation. Bruise the berries with a wooden spoon and strain them. Damage, plant tissue, by abrasion or pressure. The customer bruised the strawberries by squeezing them. Come upon, as if by accident, meet with. An impact, as from a collision. The bump threw him off the bicycle. Knock against with force or violence. My car bumped into the tree. Assign to a lower position, reduce in rank. Remove or force from a position of dwelling previously occupied. Something that bulges out or is protuberant or projects from its surroundings. A lump on the body caused by a blow. Dance erotically or dance with the pelvis thrust forward. Bump and grind. An injury that doesn't break the skin but results in some discoloration. The action of bruising. The bruise resulted from a contusion.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.